to show you how I made these bunny Oreo cookie pops. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. Things that I used: white candy melt, some pre-made royal icing eyes, and you can find those on eBay. I'm using some pink pearls and they come like that, they're candies. Some double stuffed Oreos, some bunny cupcake ear picks, and you can find those at Walmart. I'm using this pink ribbon, and you can use any other color or not at all. I'm using some watermelon color petal dust and a brush, and I was able to find these colorful lollipop sticks at Hobby Lobby. I will be using the green and the blue, and some black royal icing, or you can use some pre-made decorating icing that's already made, and I found that at Walmart. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is grab our lollipop stick and our double stuffed Oreo and dip the lollipop stick into the candy melt. And then I like to put the cookie down on the surface and then stick the lollipop in it like this as I put a little bit of pressure on the cookie. That way it doesn't pop open. So, but don't squeeze too hard, you don't want to crack your cookie. So as I push this in, I try to like twist it as I go so it'll kind of go in there without too much problems. And see how it's split there a little bit? I might have pushed it in too hard, so I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit and then kind of mend this together back again, and that's it. So I'm gonna do the rest and let these dry. I do recommend though buying the vanilla kind, which is the ivory colored ones. Those work best for these because you don't have to dip them in so much to hide a lot of this darker chocolate color. I did that last year and it only took me about a couple dips, and they came out really nice. But I forgot to do that this time, and I bought these, and now I'm going to have to dip them a little bit longer. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and dip this in, and I'm going to tap it. This will be a little bit time consuming, so I do highly recommend getting the vanilla kind. I don't know how I forgot to get them this time. So as you see there, it's not, this ain't gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip it again. I didn't let that dry. I just released the candy melt, and I'm gonna do it again. And then this time I'm gonna go ahead and set it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my little styrofoam block, and I'm gonna set this. I gotta pop these air bubbles or else they'll pop on their own and they'll leave little craters. So as you see there, you still can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in my foam, and I'm gonna keep an eye on it because a lot of the candy melt will come down and it'll drip down, and if it happens, if you don't catch it in time, just go ahead with a knife and just scrape it off. It'll come right off. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and I'm going to stick them in the fridge, like I said, for about 4 minutes or so it could dry a lot faster. And then I'm going to come back and dip it again. Alright guys, so I took these out of the fridge, and they were in there roughly around 6 minutes. And they're nice and dry now, so I'm going to go ahead and dip it again, a couple dips, and then I'm going to let it dry again, and then I'm going to see if I still see some of this brown. If I do, I'm going to dip it again. I don't want to make this too thick of a lining because I still need to poke this stick in here, so I don't want this to have a really thick coating. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip this in, release the chocolate just like I did before, mix in my candy melt, dip it again. Okay, so that's the second double dip that I did, and you can still see some of that brown. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. I'll stick it in the fridge again. And then we'll see how that looks when I take it out. So while it's drying, I'm going to go ahead and get my little bunny ear cupcake toppers. And I'm just going to trim about half of it off. And they need to, because they're too long, and what happens is when you stick them into your cookie, it'll bump into the lollipop stick that is inside the cookie, so it's going to kind of bump into it. So it doesn't really need to have such a long stick because it'll attach to the candy melt and the rest of it here. So you can trim it pretty much really short. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit more, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and trim all of them. I'm going to stick these in the fridge for another 5-6 minutes and then I'll be back. Alright, so I took this out of the fridge. I'm going to go ahead and dip it one more time. And I think this should be it. So that's what it's going to look like. Now go ahead and right in the center, put it in. It's starting to dry. That's why I don't want to do a super thick coating. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside to dry. And then I'm going to start doing the face. Alright guys, so to start on the face, I'm going to go and start off with the nose. And I'm going to get a little toothpick and dip it into my candy melt. And then just put a little dot right in the center. Just enough to hold that pearl. You don't put too much to where when you add it on there, it's going to gush to the sides. This will actually hold when it dries. It's going to hold pretty good. Then I'm going to grab my toothpick again and grab my little eyes. You can find these on eBay. Just Google royal icing eyes and they should show up. And I'm trying to put some of this candy melt in here. And then just put it on there. The other one, try to find a couple that match because they're kind of different. Some have bigger eyes, some have smaller ones. Just make sure you grab two of them that match each other. Now I'm gonna get my little brush with my luster dust or my petal dust. Luster is the shiny kind. This is the flat matte kind. I got a little brush, soft brush, and I'm gonna do some little blush on the cheeks here. Makes it a little cuter. Okay, now I'm going to use raw icing because I'm going to bag these. I have to bag these. So you don't have to. If you don't want to do your raw icing, sometimes if you haven't never done raw icing, you can use some of this here. You can find this pretty much anywhere. And this after a while will dry. But since I'm going to bag these, I can't really use this or else it's going to smear on the bag. So a lot of times I avoid using this and I just use the raw icing because this will dry and set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the whiskers first, and I'm just going to drag 3 lines out like this. The one in the center, I'm going to make it shorter than the 2 outer ones, just like that. Pull it out. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do a mouth, which I'm going to start off with like a opposite J. Just like that. And then the other line going the other way. I'm going to use the other side of my toothpick and bring down these peaks. And that's about it. Now I'm going to be using my hot glue gun. And I got my ribbon. This is 3/8. I put the other thing away. But it's 3/8 of an inch. And I got it in pink. And I'm just going to dab a little bit on the back of it. Just a little dot. I'm going to grab my stick. And I'm going to attach it to the stick, not to the candy melt. Just like that. Get rid of some of this string. And that's basically it. So I'm going to finish up the rest. And then I'm going to put them all together. I'm going to let some of the icing get a little bit matte so it won't be so shiny. But that's it. Alright guys, that is all. I hope you like how they turned out. Not hard to make. I do highly suggest though getting the vanilla kind. That's the clear cookie. The chocolate one is a lot harder to cover with that white candy melt. So do get the vanilla one. It will make your job a lot easier. Also run over to Walmart and get these little bunny ears before they sell out. We only have about a week left. Yeah, week left for Easter, so you might want to run out and get these. So again, very easy to put together. So I hope you like how that turned out. And that is all, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And have a good one.